Okay. All right. Well, welcome to Summit Center for Spiritual Living, where we share universal good through love. And Michael is going to light our candle. So the first wick he lights on the candle is and put the candle in front so that people can see it. Okay, the first one represents spirit or God, or the all that is, and the second wick, I should say, represents us as community. And why are you showing the vanilla cream on it? You're supposed to show it just there you go. I have to train you better. Anyways, so thank you, Michael, for taking care of the candle. All right. And this way I don't have to fight the igniter too. So but anyways, it reminds us that we are one with spirit. So okay. John, you want to lead us in a song?
All right. There it is. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is another good start, from the heart for living in a better way. Working together with the skills of many hands, helping each other make the best life we can. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start, from the heart to living in a better way. Life is becoming better, its harm and suffering cease, with kindness for each other, we live and grow in peace. Making a new start, awareness growing here and there, as we care for one another, love flowers everywhere. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start, from the heart, living in a better way. For living in a better way. For living in a better way.
Thank you, John and Kyle. It's good to see you too as well. So I saw that you came in. And anyway, so the Michael is our speaker today, and it's all men this month, since we did all women last speakers last month. And Michael is talking about something about obstinance.
Divine audacity.
Divine audacity. Okay, I knew I had it wrong. So divine audacity.
What if you don't identify as binary? Never mind. I mean, you know, men, women, but you know.
Right. Well, anyways. So so next week it'll be John. Following week it's going to be Tim, and then it's Michael or a guest. Michael hasn't decided yet, and then the last week will be John again. So, anyways, that's what's going on, and Michael's going to read the 365, and John will start the music and do the meditation, and I'll actually do the meditation. Well, he'll get it going for us. All right, so go ahead, Michael.
So this is from Science of Mind 365, and the reading for June 2nd. So the affirmative thought is this: perfect reality is manifesting in my life. Perfect reality is manifesting in my life. Just kind of take that in and think about that. Perfect reality is manifesting in my life. The words of Ernest Holmes: the will of God for me is the will of a boundless life flowing through me. It is the will of joy, of success, of happiness, of peace, of abundance. It is the will of the kingdom of heaven, not absent from this earth, but imperfectly seen. So nothing rewards or punishes me but the immutable law of cause and effect. There is no good that I cannot experience, provided that I first embody that good. There is no joy that I cannot reach, provided that I first clear my consciousness of anything that would limit this joy in myself or in others. I dispel any doubt in my mind as to whether or not God wishes me to have the best. So there is no judgment. There is no condemnation and no criticism. I know that any belief in a power that harms is false. Every such belief is now eradicated. There's only justice and knowledge and right guidance. Divine intelligence operates through me without confusion, calmly moving forward, progressive, reaching outward. I am guided by the infinite wisdom into that light which is eternal. I accept this gift of life for myself and for each and every other person. God is right where I am. God is what I am. I enter into the conscious possession of this divine allness, this perfect reality today. And I know that it is manifesting in my life. From Science of Mind 365.
Healing love. Healing love. source of real, source of all, source to heal. Graceful love, graceful love, graceful love, graceful love. Healing love, healing love, healing love, divine healing love.
And as we feel that healing love and experience that healing love, please take in a deep breath. Just release and relax. Just let go. Take in another deep breath. And as you relax, just allow the chair, this little chair, wherever you may be. Let's take in one more collective deep breath in. And relax once more. Just allowing the healing hands, the Spirit, to hold us up and lift us up. So as we gather together today, I know that Spirit is in us, through us, as us. Spirit is love, peace, joy, beauty, power, life, light, wisdom, wholeness, completeness, perfection, abundance, prosperity. Spirit is everything. It's everywhere. Spirit created us. Therefore, we are one with Spirit. Just as we are one with all of God's creations. Each other, trees, flowers, the ocean, the sands, the mountains, this beautiful earth, stars, the cosmos. We really truly are one with everything and everyone. The animals and the because Spirit created each and every aspect of us. Therefore, Spirit is in us and through us. So knowing that we are one with this magnificence, this beauty, this power, this love, I speak my word for Summit Center for Spiritual Living, for this beautiful day, for Michael speaking today, that his words are my words, or not my words, God's words. It is his words are God's words, Spirit's words. Music, that John has done is also music through spirit. Grateful for Deb, who we don't see on the camera, but she's with us. For Tim being with us today. Kyle, for Hannah doing the Facebook. For Carol Ann, and of course for Mike. And for John doing the music. So, knowing this, I claim for Summit Center for Spiritual Living abundant prosperity, magnificent healing, and perfect joy. So with this, I give thanks. I give thanks. I give thanks for all that is. I give thanks for each and every person that is with us, and for those who see us, maybe with us and we can't see them, but or see us at a different time. Grateful and thankful for their spirit being apart with us, being together with us, and always being with us. So I give thanks one more time. I give thanks for all the good, all the beauty, all the peace. And with that, I just release my word into the law, because I know I have already spoken my word and I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's already in motion, right here, right now. And with that, I say, so it is. Amen.
We are love. We are love. We are love. Divine healing love.
Thank you, John. And as you open your eyes, please open your cameras and take a moment to look into each other's eyes and just see the magnificence, which is really you and them, whoever it may be. Give thanks. Okay, appreciate that. I'm going to now turn this over to Michael, who's going to do his talk. So, all right. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Diane. And thank you, everyone, for being with us today. It's always an honor to present the morning lesson here at Summit CSL. So my intention today is this, that you'll take the key points and actually apply them to your life. And this is not, when I give a lesson, this is not about knowing more. This is about you being more. You actually coming out of any type of sense of separation and being the divine individual that you are. So my talk today is based upon the Global Theme Series. It's published yearly by Centers for Spiritual Living. So spiritual centers around the world are hearing a version of this message that each minister and practitioner can modify to serve their community. Today's title is called Sacred Audacity, and it is based upon the June's global theme of holy boldness. That was written by Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle Coleman, very well known in our movement. She is currently the senior minister and also spiritual leader of Oakland Center for Spiritual Living in Oakland, California. So the theme of holy boldness seems to be pretty old school gospel Christian. However, during the month of June, the students of our wonderful teaching around the world, they're being encouraged here to live from their divine nature in a grander way than ever before. So I looked up the term audacity in Webster's, and the definition is this: a willingness to take bold risks. A willingness to take bold risks. So an example of someone who lived from her sacred audacity was Black abolitionist and also women's rights activist Sojourner Truth, who was honored recently with the opening of the Sojourner Truth Legacy Plaza, 173 years to the day that she gave her famous "Ain't I a Woman" speech to the Ohio Women's Convention in Akron, Ohio. The plaza is located right next to the site of the old stone church, where Truth gave her historic speech on May 29th, 1851. So from the article written by Megan Becca and found on cleveland.com, Truth was born into slavery in Swartzkill, New York in 1797. She escaped with her infant daughter to freedom in 1926. Though she was born Isabella Balmfree, she changed her name to Sojourner Truth in 1843 after she said that God has called her to leave the city and go into the countryside. And that was according to the records of the National Trust for Historic Preservation. After delivering her speech in Akron in 1851, she continued to advocate for justice for Black people and women until her death in 1883. So from her speech, which isn't that long, that's why I included it in my notes today, "Ain't I a Woman" was given without notes. Sojourner Truth said allegedly, and I say allegedly because, again, the transcripts of the speech are still debated upon by experts. This is what she said: "Well, children, where there is so much racket, there must be something out of kilter. I think that twixt the Negro of the South and the women at the North, all talking about rights, the white men will be in a fix pretty soon. But what's all this here talking about? That man over there says that women need to be helped into carriages and lifted over ditches and have the best place everywhere. Nobody ever helped me into carriages over mud puddles or given me any best place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me, look at my arm. I have plowed and planted and gathered into barns, and no man could head me. And ain't I a woman? I could work as much and eat as much as a man if I could get it, and bear the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most all sold off to slavery. And when I cried out with my mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. And ain't I a woman? Then they talk about this thing in the head. What's this they call it? And supposedly members of the audience whispered, intellect. That's it, honey. What's that got to do with women's rights or Negroes' rights? If my cup won't hold but a pint and yours hold a quart, wouldn't you be mean not to let me have my little half measure full? And that little man in black there. Now, she was referring to a member of the clergy. He says that women can't have as much rights as men because Christ wasn't a woman. Well, where did your Christ come from? Where did your Christ come from? From God and a woman. Man had nothing to do with him. If the first woman that God ever made was strong enough to turn the world upside down all alone, these women together ought to be able to turn it back and get it right side up again. And now they is asking to do it. And men better let them. Obliged, were you hearing me? And now old Sojourner ain't got nothing more to say. Wasn't that powerful? So from today's lesson, so if Sojourner Truth could make a way out of her extreme circumstances and experiences to make a mark on the world, we all can if we want to. The only thing that's holding us back is who? It's us. And our possible perceptions of blocks and thinking about everything that could go wrong. And also listening to everybody and everything of everything that could go wrong. So it's our attitude, it's our willingness, it's our persistence, and also our resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back. Resilience, and again, this is talking about the whole idea of bouncing back in your thinking. Those are all critical for us to break through our doubts and fears. We all need to know this, that within us is a sacred knowing within us that is always guiding and supporting us. This internal knowing will always deliver us from and through anything. So as we work in partnership with the divine, all things are truly possible, especially the seemingly impossible. But, that's the big but, our participation, though, is needed in creating a life that has purpose and meaning. All of us, every single one of us, have choice, volition in how we engage with this thing called life. And again, thank you, Ernest Holmes, for that wonderful book of the same name. So we can either put our light under a bushel basket, or we can let our light so shine that we are a blessing to ourselves and the world. And who gets to choose that? We do. We all have permission from the divine within us to live creatively through our unique talents and abilities that each of us have. And again, how do we know those things? Again, we listen to ourselves. We listen to our heart. The things that won't go away, that keep kind of nagging at us. Those are the things. And again, then they'll continue until we do something about that. Same thing with me in ministry. I went into this whole thing kicking and screaming. But again, that still small voice that's within me knew that for my soul's growth, that this is what I needed in this incarnation. So we just have to step out. We need to draw outside the lines. We need to start thinking outside the box here and thinking out beyond the fears that we have. When we act intentionally from the wellspring within us, we can enjoy a grand rising into a new moment of transformation. And that's the theme for this year's global themes. This is the 2024 theme is called A Grand Rising. So the sacred audacity that I'm talking about today, or the willingness to take risks, big risks, powers us to see beyond the current appearances and to embrace the fulfilling life that is ours to claim and to live. It's easy to say and scary as hell to live out, huh? So from the lesson notes we read, a basic tenet of the science of mind philosophy is that there is a power for good in the universe and that we can use it. There is a power in the universe and that I and you, we can use that. So this is a sacred principle and also universal law. When we really understand and embody this principle, embodiment is something that Holmes talked about. When we take whatever the affirmative thought is, and again, that we live it, that's the embodiment part. And we go ahead and we live that. What happens is that we can then act with holy boldness and sacred audacity to name, to claim, and also to declare our good in full acceptance. So when we really know who and whose we are, we can come from a deep place of knowing that this all-pervasive good is within us, it's all around us, ready to work with us. So as we become still and know that I am God from Psalm 46, and we tap into that divine power that's within us, we know that this divine power works every time, even better than we had hoped in the first place. So as our faith grows and overcomes any of our doubts and fears, we then walk with a greater confidence that our good is forthcoming. So as our ME, or our mental equivalent, joins with the beliefs as first cause, outer effects demonstrate in our affairs to align with those beliefs. Again, from the Hermetic teaching, we learned that as within, so without. So change happens again from within out and not the other way around. Yes, it can happen that way, but it's so much harder. So change first in the inner, and then the outer change will be a lot easier to accept. So our faith grows and expands as we participate in the laws of attraction and also manifestation. So how can we live in this holy boldness? So here's some suggestions from the lesson notes. The first one is we must live from inner courage. So my question to you today is this: what do you really want in life? What do you really want in life? And what stops you from having it? So it really does take inner courage to even think about acting boldly, let alone do so. So first, we must overcome any fears or inhibitions that would prevent us from acting boldly, like, well, what would people think about me? Or what will my family think about me? What will my friends think about me? And Can I really do this? Do we really think something we want to do is outrageous because no one else is doing it? So when we take a closer look at what fuels us or holds us back, we then can tap into how our belief system developed. And again, I call our belief systems BS because, again, that they were mostly, those beliefs were mostly taught to us by society, by our parents, by our grandparents. And again, the whole idea of generational beliefs, again, that your parents probably exhibited those beliefs from several rungs down the ladder here, from several generations past. So we can ask ourselves the questions. Is what I want to do detrimental or harmful to others? Is it something that sings to my heart and brings me joy? So the questions here, they help us unpack that inner thinking that we have and learn what's really there, and then helps us to determine which way to go along our spiritual path of unfolding and developing that inner courage, that holy boldness, that sacred audacity. So first, we must live from inner courage. The second thing that we can do is tap into our spiritual connection. So the sacred audacity that we're talking about today allows us to do things that we don't necessarily think we can. So we allow ourselves now to tap into that inner spiritual connection that knows what and how to do any and everything within and through us. So when we surrender and we allow the spiritual connection to lead and guide us, we can accomplish great things. So the spiritual connection, though, requires trust and faith. And that can be developed. It doesn't have to be overnight. We have to learn to trust this divine presence in ourselves enough to know that we are not imagining things. We're not crazy or delusional, that we really are okay. The more we trust, the more that we're able to trust. So the more that we trust, the more that we're able to trust. And all we need to do, though, is to start taking small steps. So as I tell the individuals that I work with privately, start walking in the direction of your dreams. What can you do today or this week that will move you in the direction of your goals? Can you order a book off of Amazon? Can you see what cruises are available for the summer or fall? Start being bold enough to start being in your demonstration now. Be in your demonstration now. So these small demonstrations that happen, and sometimes, again, you'll see these, they're like little sprouts that come up. They're saying, well, it's on its way. It's in the ground and it's coming forth here. They're testimonies to the spiritual direction that we're all tapped into. So the more that we turn to it, the more it turns to us. So we can listen for its guidance and even ask it to show us the way. So this is how we develop that sacred audacity. Again, one step at a time. So we talked about having inner courage. We talked about tapping into our spiritual connection. So the third thing here suggested is to start now, right now, with your imagination. So there may be something that you've always wanted to do, but are afraid to step out for whatever reason. So, first, change that inner picture until you believe, or again, we used the term before, embody your image. Your spiritual tools will guide you, the spiritual tools of visioning, the spiritual tools of spiritual mind treatment. Repeating a positive affirmation over and over, like, I let go of any fears and I focus on faith. I let go of any fears and I focus on faith. So then you use affirmative prayer then to support the intention. So sit quietly in meditation daily and focus on your intention. Notice the stories that you tell yourself and all the feelings that come up. So probe more deeply then to see what's underneath. See, and again, that's, if you want to know what's underneath, start planting other seed. You'll find out really quick on what's going on inside of you, because it will just come up. So use your imagination then to retell your story in a more positive way that embraces healing. So imagine yourself fulfilling this intention successfully. So write in a journal. Hopefully all of us have one, but write in your journal about what comes up. You don't have to do this alone though. Again, get support. Get a visioning partner or a prayer partner to help you through the process. Take it to a session with a spiritual practitioner to talk about it through. So inch your way forward to actually doing the thing. So perhaps you test the waters by sticking your toe into it, and you take a first or preliminary action before fully jumping into it. So act as if it were already done. Act as if it were already done. So by doing these things, you've already started living from that sacred audacity and that holy boldness. So to conclude here, sacred audacity requires us tapping into our spiritual connection to allow us to be used as a conduit through which the divine expresses its greatness. It's the divine as you, living the life as you. And it may require inner courage and holy boldness to know like Jesus did. And again, these are Paul's words: I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And again, that from Metaphysical Bible Interpretation, Christ is not Jesus's last name, but it is the Christ consciousness, the Christ awareness, the Buddha nature, whatever that you want to call it. It's our divine, the divinity as us. So as you do the inner work, there is a tangible action that needs to happen to bring your intention from a thought to a thing, to take the invisible and to bring it into tangible form. So this means that now, and I mean now, right now, is the perfect time. Don't wait. Now is the time. Today is the day of salvation, as the scriptures say. Now, right now, is the perfect time to start, to restart, to visit, or even revisit the intention and notions to whatever it is that our heart longs for. So it always brings up the story for me about, and I read this in Science of Mind magazine a few years back. This woman was telling her friend that she was going to go back to school for her master's degree, for her master's in fine arts. And her friend said, well, you're going to be 46 years old when you finally get your degree. And the woman looked back at her and said, well, hopefully I will be here at 46. And at 46, I'm going to have my degree. Listen, if I can go back at 56 and get my master's again, just think what you could do. So when we do our spiritual work, we can hold the bold action as a part of our spiritual practice and the intention. So we can step out there. We know that there is no misstep. And if there is a so-called misstep, that's just feedback. That just tells us that we need to recalibrate, as the GPS says. We need to recalibrate. We need to go again in another direction. It's simply an opportunity to try again using that feedback. We can turn our attention from fear to faith and know that we can and are doing it. That God is truly the wind beneath our wings, and this sacred act that we're doing is propelling us forward in divine expression with fortitude, with courage, and also with resilience. So I leave you with the words of motivational speaker and coach Tony Robbins, who wrote this. He says, if you are not living up to your greatest potential in any area of your life, you are settling. It can be hard to admit, but when you do, you will finally discover how to never settle for less. Namaste. I salute the divinity as you. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. That was very good. And I did not know. I really enjoyed that speech. Ain't I a woman? You know, especially when you think about the fact that this was in 1850 something, and a Black woman, and wa- she was considered nothing back then. And that's just amazing to me that she realized that she's much more, and she could see that and feel that. And that when we have that audacity, is that the word you were using, audacity? Then to be able to, and we have that boldness, why can't it be done? All we have to do is be stubborn. That's a good word for it. You're being stubborn. You're taking it and you're making it positive, and you're, no matter what, you're not going to settle. And that part is so important, because sometimes we definitely settle. So thank you, and I appreciate that. So is there somebody else who had any questions or comments?
I thought that was really good. Inspired me to change songs.
Tim?
I would say it's amazing how the men she was addressing in that speech, who were so important at the time, are now just footnotes in her history.
They're unknown.
You're right. You're right.
You also reminded me of what with your story near the end of Dr. Carol Neal, who had a woman come to her for treatment, who told her, I'd really like to go back and get my degree, but I'll be 50 years old by that time. And Carol's answer to that was, well, how old would you be if you don't go back and get your degree?
That's so important. Wow. Carolyn, it looks like you want to say something.
For me, it was a great reminder of small steps and the power of small steps. And, you know, I mean, it was a small thing for her. It took a lot of courage to say these things, but it was a small step that needed to be taken. You don't necessarily see the results right away. You know, and that's the same thing with anything that we take on. You start with small steps. People, it's like watching, to me, it's like watching the Olympics and seeing how graceful, how powerful these Olympians are. And we forget that this took years and years of small steps for this outcome. You know, you look at each one of us and where we are and what we have done with our life and are doing with our life. It has taken years and years of practice and practice and practice and discovering each moment. And you know, people kind of look and just get overwhelmed, and you don't have to be. It's, to me, it's like driving across the United States with only a flashlight to guide you. Well, for that matter, even the lights on your car, what can only see 20 feet ahead of. You know, that's all we need to know. We need to know the next step and the next step. So thank you for that very powerful, very strong reminder to have our sacred audacity and holy boldness.
Right. That was absolutely wonderful. So, John, you want to sing a song?
Yeah, I decided to change songs in midstream here because this is about taking that small step and moving ahead with purpose, and it's never too late, you know. Well, hold on. There we go. It's not too late for getting started, and never too soon to show the world the dream's alive. It's never parted. The time has come that it's unfurled. Now's the time to move with purpose. Now's the time to seek and find. It's not too late to make a difference. It's never too soon to raise your mind. It's not too late to be a dreamer, and never too soon to share a word. Follow your dream to where it leads you, and fly to the sky like a beautiful bird. Now's the time to move with purpose. Now's the time to seek and find. It's not too late to make a difference. It's never too soon to raise your mind. It's not too late to say I love you.
and never too soon to be a friend. Become the one to touch another. You'll know you will grow and it won't end. Now's the time to move with purpose. Now's the time to seek and find. It's not too late to make a difference. It's never too soon to raise your mind. Now's the time to move with purpose. Now's the time to rise and shine. It's not too late to make a difference. It's never too soon to raise your mind. It's never too soon to raise your mind.
Thank you, John. How wonderful. Okay, so it is that time in our service where we take the opportunity to give. We still have bills, even though we are on Zoom. And I do appreciate everybody who does give in every way, whether it's sacred service, whether it's just every part of the giving is so important. So I very much appreciate that. So with that, just let's take our well, we need to be able to know where to go. Okay, so you can send it. You can go to Zelle, and you would go to sscofakron@gmail.com. That's sscofakron@gmail.com. You can give that way, or you can send a check or cash or whatever it may be, and you can send to 1199 Lexington Avenue, Akron, Ohio 44310, and we can make sure that it gets into our accounts and go to the Work of Summit Spiritual Center. So as we take our tithes and put them in our hand, right top over left, and just know with me that all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive is blessed in a very special way, that it goes to the Work at Summit Center for Spiritual Living, and it also goes to the work that sets us free and allows us to be all that we can be. So with that, I just give thanks. And so it is. Amen. All right. How about good, more good, John?
Good and more good is mine, and ever increasing good is mine. Unlimited, infinite good is mine. Wherever I go, I see good. Whatever I do, I feel oh so good. I'm worthy and entitled to good and more good. Good crowds itself upon us, wraps itself around us. We give ourselves permission to accept more good, express more good. Good more good is ours, and ever increasing good is ours. Thank you, Spirit, and so it is.
Right. Thank you. And it's time for announcements. Michael?
Yeswise.com. Look for Yeswise Inspiri. Check it out.
Hey, John?
Yeah, great programs on New Thought Media Network. And Friday evening fireside chat has been absolutely wonderful. So that is streamed live on the Summit Spiritual Center of Akron Facebook page. So tonight we have a wonderful show on Jim Webb's show called On the Miracle of Prosperity on Forgive Your Way to Prosperity. Forgive Your Way to Prosperity. Great shows. Again, ntmedia.org is the website, and also that you can see a lot of great programs on the New Thought Media Network YouTube page. everything is archived there in playlists. And the reason I know that is because I'm the one that does the playlist. So go to YouTube at New Thought Media Network, and you'll find all kinds of great shows. Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else?
One other note, put on your calendar for June 19th, I'll be singing at the Jenks building again during lunchtime,
Cool.
noon to 2 on Wednesday, June 19th.
Put that down. Okay. All right. So, anyways, with that, it is time for where we can take a moment of silence. And during this moment of silence, I want you to bring into mind any healing that may be needed, whether it be for yourself, for a family member, for the world, for whatever it may be. Just know that all healing is happening right here, right now, in a positive way. And I'm going to ring a bell and then ring it out. So when we're done. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
We are the people of love. We are the people of love. Sing out, people, sing out love. We are the people of love. We are the people of peace. We are the people of peace. Sing out, people, sing out peace. We are the people of peace. We are the people of joy. We are the people of joy. Sing out, people, sing out joy. We are the people of joy. We are the people of love. We are the people of love. Sing out, people, sing out love. We are the people of love. We are the people of love.
All right. Thank you so much. And Hannah, you can finish it or end our Facebook feed for